Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for spending time with me again today. So last week I had a chat with Hannecke Da Costa, and she and I have so much to chat about. It seems that we're going to create a series of videos on different topics to get through everything we have to talk about. So today's topic of conversation is book publishing, because Hannecke wants to turn her designs into a book on Amazon, if I understand. Hannecke, can you tell us a little bit about what you're planning?
Okay, so just a little bit of background again. I have done publishing before, but like a diary and a coloring book. But going to a local publisher and asking or printer and getting them to print it for me. The problem is with the courier cost, sending it over the whole of South Africa, the cost for couriering it to a client who only wants one is more than what the book is costing. So that is putting people off from ordering, and they don't always have people around them that they can share the courier cost with. And somebody asked me, with my husband that's in Dubai, can't I sell to people there? But hello, to get it there, what is that going to cost? And I'm not going that much, once or twice a year. And so to get it there is a problem. And so I was thinking of going either digital, like ebooks or PDF files, and or Amazon.
Okay.
I did not think of Amazon before recently, when I saw somebody who said that you can do planners on Amazon. You just upload the file and then they print it as they get orders for that. So my head is between going digital ebook or PDF file that I send out myself, or going Amazon. So I'm in between the two. Or must I do both? I don't know.
Okay. And have you thought about working with a local publisher at all? Somebody who's already published, somebody like a, I don't know, a Metz or a,
like
or a Strake or a Lapa or a somebody?
No, I haven't. I have, but I don't know if I have the confidence to go to them to say, listen, this is my book. Will you publish it? And yeah, that's me.
So for everybody watching, the reason I'm exploring this conversation is because I've published in a number of ways. I have published through a Metz Press, and I have also self-published a bunch of PDFs. I can tell you that that is one of the things that is nice about self-publishing, is you don't suffer that rejection that you might suffer if you keep submitting your manuscript to a publisher who then turns you down. So many years ago, I think it must have been 2001, I got my hands on a little publication, which I've since then lost. But it was a tiny book that actually inspired writers with stories of other writers and how many times they were rejected before they were accepted by a publisher. And when you read how many times your average famous writer gets rejected before they find a publisher who will run with them, it is a very kind of soul-destroying process. If you haven't got quite a thick skin, then self-publishing is certainly a much gentler route to go. And so many people are self-publishing these days. It really isn't necessary to have a publisher behind you. The reason I'm asking you this question, Hannecke, is because you have an existing local market.
Yeah.
So it might be worth exploring to reach those customers. So if you have customers who've bought your journals and your calendars, who want to come back and buy more. I think that a local publisher might be a good route to go because they already have the distribution down.
Yes.
So if you could publish with them, they will take the distribution headache out of the whole thing for you, and then you just supply them with content. On the flip side, you only get a very, very small royalty. And that royalty on my books at the moment is 10% on the sales price, which means that if my publisher dumps a batch of books on somebody at a discount price, I can make as little as 5 or 6 rand a book. Now, if you think that your average company like Emet, your average publisher like Emet in this country only puts out 3,000 or 4,000 copies of any book that they publish, you begin to understand how small those print runs actually are and how small those profits actually are. Somebody said to me once, "You've published now with Met, you must be a millionaire." And I said to them, okay, just please sit down and do the maths. There are 4,000 books. I get 6 rand a book. How does that make me a millionaire?
Yeah.
So those are the realities. There's roundabouts to publishing with an existing publisher. I love that I published with Metz Press because they have credibility, and it has given me that credibility as an author, which I'm thankful for now, because it now allows me to stack my other self-published ebooks on top of that.
Yeah.
But it still gives me that peg in the sand that I can say to people, you know, if you want to see something that I've published on Amazon, you can go and find it here.
Yes.
Was that useful to you?
Yes. Yes. Maybe I have a thick skin when it comes to certain things, but not when it comes to my work. You know, you it's mine, and when somebody say no, then oh hell, okay, stop doing it.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So, but I understand that give them a go and maybe try Mets or Strike, because Strike has done something similar to what I do.
Yes.
And give them a go. But then you think in the back of your head, but there's already so much out there. Will they take you on because you're doing the same?
So
I mean, my market is different than your market. You were the only one that I know of that did fabric dyeing. So yes, but I'm doing, if I do my adult coloring books, there's a lot on the market. So will they take me on in the current climate? I don't know.
Yes. So that's a fantastic question. And it's kind of goes both ways. If there are lots of people doing it, it means there's a market for it. There's a demand for it. I know you say that what I'm doing is very niche, but you know, I've always had to educate my customers before they'll buy from me. So there's a lot of like energy I have to sow into the process before the sale happens. So it can really be beneficial to find things that people actually want and then sell that. The other side of that though is that there is competition. And you will likely have to figure out what your competition is doing in terms of marketing and take them on head on if you expect to have any market share from them. So that might involve doing more work than you're ready for. And I'm saying that with all respect, because our time, we have limited time. So we need to curate what we spend our time on. And if going a certain route is not going to serve your best interests, then you shouldn't pursue it. But I do recommend you looking into all avenues before you choose one. Because you might later find out, oh no, there was something that you overlooked that you could have actually used back then.
Yeah, and I think the problem is, and I think we both have the same problem. There's so many ideas of what we want to put out there. I mean, I have next year a planner instead of a diary, and I have a journal, and I have a gratitude journal, and I have this and I have that. I'm already at 5 products. So where do you go?
Yes, that's a fantastic question. Do we develop new products, or do we spend more energy selling the ones we've got? And I know as creatives, that can be quite a big challenge. Because for us, the excitement is in the creation phase.
Yes.
And I know that's certainly true of myself. You've seen me in the last 3 months bust out a bunch of new products, and I haven't even begun to sell the ones that I launched last month. And where's this all going? And it can be very, very confusing for your customers. So that's a fantastic question. And the only answer I can give you is, if it feels like you're down a rabbit hole, you likely are. So if you're convinced this is going to be the game changer, it likely isn't. Pull yourself back a bit, or be realistic about it. Say, this is another product. Let me test it and see how it goes. And test, and then follow the money trail. Give people what they want. So the old way of building businesses was to come up with a product, package it, make it shiny, and push it at people.
Yes.
The new way of creating businesses. And that's why 90% of businesses failed. Because we were creating products that didn't necessarily talk to people's needs.
Yeah.
The new way of creating businesses is to ask people what they want, then create products that look like that, and then keep iterating them so that there are fewer and fewer objections about buying what you've made. And then just sell. And give yourself permission to make money easily. It doesn't have to be tough.
Okay, so now I'm thinking of putting digital products out there, PDF versions, and see what works. And if something works, then push that and go to a publisher like Mets, or try Amazon.
Yes. So when all the digital platforms came available, I was champing at the bit for a platform to launch a course on. Well, not a course, 30 courses that I had in my head as a craft teacher. So when I found Thinkific, I built out 30 courses. Okay. People aren't buying them. I was early to market. I mean, at that stage, when I already had 30 courses, most craft teachers didn't even have one. Many craft teachers are only launching now.
Yeah.
So when I said I've got 30 online courses 5 years ago, people were like, it's like, huh? What are you talking about? So in the interim, I've also pushed out a bunch of ebooks. Where I've also tried a bunch of online events and launches. Where I'm sitting now, I'm going, I'm only going to launch the products that people want. Because it's very easy to spend a lifetime packaging all these things and nobody buys them. Because you've somewhere in your messaging, there is some fatal flaw. And then you're frustrated because you've got this body of work that's not selling, and you feel like you failed. Because you've done all this good work and it's not moving. And it's actually, we're actually flogging ourselves to death with our ego around our own products. Because what we really need to do is stop and listen and say to our customers, what do you really want? Start making that. And then our businesses start to grow. And I'm preaching to my own choir here.
Yeah. because but it's difficult because you think something like this will work, and then you put all your hard work into that, and then like you said, it's not moving, and you think, do I need to try it again? Do I change it? Do I change the product, or do I just change my marketing strategy? Because I mean, the product can be good, but what you're doing in marketing ways may be the cause that it's not selling.
Yes. Yes.
So how do you know? Is it the product or is it the marketing?
You see, and there's a lot to dig into there, and you get a lot of feedback, so if you ask your students to look at your courses and tell you why they're not selling, they'll come back and tell you where every typo is. Okay. It still doesn't tell you why the course isn't selling. And by the time they've told you where every typo is, you're so exhausted and fatigued by hearing how terrible the stuff is you've made. Okay, you don't want to look at it anymore. I've been here. Okay. So it's kind of a balancing act, and right in the middle, you have to hold self-care dear. Okay. Yeah. So you have to balance research, sales, iterating new products. What I've also learned is a part of birthing a new product also involves falling out of love with it at some point. I find all my best products happen after I've already given up on them. So my coloring in book that people are finally loving is designs that I've tried to sell in 10 or 15 different iterations for the past 20 years. And finally, both the packaging and the idea are becoming polished enough that people are starting to buy the new product. But it's not the product I thought I would be selling. When I first came up with these designs, I just wanted to make pretty textiles. I just wanted to carve a design in a piece of lino and print it, for goodness sake. And now I've got to earn a living off it.
in a totally different way.
Absolutely. 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 So I see we've only got 6 minutes left. One more question.
I don't know. I don't have a question.
Have I overwhelmed you?
Is it worth it? Is it worth it trying?
Totally. My alternative is working for a boss.
No.
Can you see this fitting into that package? I'm unemployable. I'm unemployable.
Me too. After being at home for so many years, I can't go back and creating what I want to create instead of doing what they want you to do. I can't do that.
Yeah. So this is the tough part. This is our work asking us to show up and do whatever it takes to make money off it. We can't expect to have all the lovely benefits of doing things we love without some of the hard stuff.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. But if you is struggling after all the years that I've known you, I'm just starting out.
So most entrepreneurs take years. There are no overnight successes. There are the odd ones that we all know about, the big names, but most people are struggling in the trenches. Most entrepreneurs I know. And even so, I would go back to my father's story here. I watched my dad make a huge chunk of money, build a building, fill it with staff, okay, pay salaries, take people out for his staff and his suppliers and his customers out for big business lunches. He made a lot of money. He made a great business. And at a point, the environment changed around him and he lost all of it. Okay. He was not a bad man. He was not incompetent. Okay.
It's just life.
It's just life. Okay. What some will say is, as entrepreneurs, we all have a career path. Some will peak early. Some will only find their feet later, will be late starters. Some will be one-hit wonders. And some will seriously maintain year after year. And that all depends on who we are as people. It's not, I think that measure of success that we all have to be hustling and making a whole lot of money. For me, successful entrepreneurs are the ones who are making no money and still find the courage to show up every day, in spite of how hard it is. Okay. I don't want to hear about the ones who are making 6 figures in a month. It's easy for you.
Yeah.
Okay. I get inspired by the ones who are scraping together just enough to make food for their kids and still find the courage to get up in the morning and try again.
Yeah.
What? Did that one
in the back, Hannecke?
All right. We've got 2 minutes to wrap up. So I hope that conversation was useful to all of you watching. And look out for Melanie and Hannecke's chat again next week, same time, same place. And hopefully we will have Kim Vermaak with us to chat with us about publishing on Amazon. Hannecke, do you want to say a few words just to say goodbye?
No, looking forward to our next one because, yeah, as we said, we can't stop talking.
I'm so excited. I think we're having fantastic conversations that other authors are going to find useful. So thank you for doing this with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.